The first political show we did here was in 2016 with my father's retrospective of his political cartooning career from 1960 to today. Actually, he's still plugging away at 89 on his blog. And it was a fascinating experience for me as a daughter who grew up with politics in my life, and I never was political. Didn't understand it. I learned a lot during that show about him and about politics and about the power of art and the power of political cartooning as agents of change. After the election, everything changed, and I went to a panel discussion, I believe that Jamie DeGideon was in, over at the Press Club, with political art. And I said to myself, what do? I don't do political art. That's not what I do for art. Fast forward to the midterm, actually fast forward to October 6th last year, and Brett Kavanaugh's testimony. And again, everything changed for me. And at that moment, I said, I have a platform, I need to use it. We're doing a show called I'm Good and Mad. And it was a pop-up exhibition during the 2018 election. 26 women came together and showed their art. It was amazing. And then that left, and fast forward to this spring. And by the way, that show, I did political art for the first time in my life. And it felt amazing. It felt empowering, and it felt like I could do something. So in May, when Alabama started building legislation to make not only abortion illegal, but doctors who perform it criminals, I found myself in a fetal position in my bedroom. And I was like, what can I do? I can't do anything. I can't stand it. I'm hopeless. And I just kept breathing in, this is my body. This is my voice. And I said, that's what I can do. I can give a platform for people to discuss this, to do this, to make art about this. So we made a call for art. We made that call in June, and we collected art in September, and you're looking at it tonight. So I'm super excited about this trajectory, not only in the growth of our gallery here at Open Ground Studios, but also in my own professional life, my artistic life, and what I'm seeing happening around me and the artists around me who are starting to be courageous to say, yes, I paint landscapes, but yes, I am an artist, and maybe I can use my voice in that way to create change. And so look forward to 2020. You bet your ass we're having a show here. And maybe we can partner with a few other organizations to make it a big one. So without further ado, I do want to make a few thank yous. I want to thank Paul Richmond for the amazing promotional stuff he did to bring the show together and helping design the amazing logo. And I want to thank my beautiful husband for setting up the sound system tonight. And my lovely interns, Josie and Melanie, who've been helping out every which way that could possibly help out, and all the artists who work here and all the artists who are associated here always help and support and guide and just help us all become better at what we do.
Time travel promise. Just remember, tomorrow you'll be yesterday's news. I let go of William's chest and instead held onto the bar on the back of the motorcycle as he maneuvered around a curve. My body slumped away as a message. "What are you, mad? I'm just telling the truth," he yelled in order to be heard over the engine. "No, I'm not mad," I yelled back, my voice and words a safety device. A few days after that, my father had emergency bypass surgery on his heart. I came back from sitting with him in intensive care. His chest exposed, meat, bone, and wire right there in front of me. His body physically damaged from bad habits, anxiety, a life he didn't like, anger unexpressed, a literal broken heart. It was dark, and I was telling William about it. We sat We sat in the quiet of our back porch, looking out onto the shape of oak trees underneath city lights and stars. I told him that I loved him before he went under, I said, only because they say you'd regret it if something happened, but it wasn't right. He didn't even say it back. He just looked at me like I thought there was a chance he might die. I felt like I broke a promise. We don't talk like that. William replied, well, he survived, so you have at least a few more years to make it a point to not tell him that you love him. Our cat came out from the dark, from the trees, purring and rubbing her side against William's legs. He picked her up by the scruff of her neck, like he always did, and held her so that she dangled powerless and looked into his eyes. With his free hand, he scratched the fluffy, cream-colored fur under her chin. Who's a good kitty? He asked. Stop that. She's too big. You're hurting her, I said. She likes it, he said. It reminds her of being a kitten, and it lets her know that I'm the boss. He smiled. Isn't that right, kitty? He asked before lowering her onto his lap. Will, I said, why did you say that I'll be yesterday's news the other day? I mean, I don't need to be news, but I had a whole article written about my art in the paper. Being asked to be news on one Sunday is pretty great. I'm happy that it happened, aren't you? I'm happy for you, but that's all you were talking about, and I don't want you to feel bad when nothing comes from it, because most likely nothing will come from it. I remember that night and the date of this conversation because of the surgery and the article, but I am supposed to remember it for another reason. William and I talked about time travel a lot. When it came to this topic, he seemed to have the capacity to dream. Research in particle physics had proven it to be possible, which made the discussion, in his mostly pragmatic view, reasonable. The highway I drove on to get to the hospital ran parallel to what was once the longest linear accelerator, which is where such research was done. I mentioned seeing it on my way home that night. William said, you know, time travel is possible, and we may be able to use the technology within our lifetime. Yes, I know. They talked about it in that lecture we went to. They recently sent a particle of a particle back in time, a fraction of a second, right? Not exactly, but I guess yes, you know it's happened already. Right, I said, and took the cat from his lap. Let's make a pact, he said, that we come back here to this spot on this night. Let's decide it tonight so that in the future, when we have the ability, we'll be here. So that means there are two of us, two of each of us, right here, right now, assuming we have access to the technology? I asked. You have to agree first, he said. Do you agree to come back? What makes you think that regular people like you or I will be able to travel time if the ability exists? Don't you think it would be highly regulated by an agency like the government? And if we could, would we be able to afford it? I think there's a good chance that I might have access to time travel technology, William said, without missing a beat. He seemed to need to believe he was going to be a future time traveler. Maybe he would be. Maybe he already was. The cat, now at my feet, rubbed her face against my ankles, meowed, and looked up at me. I bent down and scratched the back of her neck. Okay. Do you agree to come back to this moment right now with me as soon as we have the ability to travel time? William asked. Yes, I do, I stated as formally as he asked the question, but the instant I said it, I knew suddenly, for sure, that I did not want to see my future self. Not with him, and not there. If we both came back from the future into the past, I would be with him in some kind of eternity he owned, some kind of time loop that we'd be a part of together. Even though I didn't understand or believe in time travel as he explained it, I became so incredibly spooked, terrified. Was it too late? Even though we shared many years together, a business and a home, it was the first time I thought of a lifetime with him. Don't show up, not here. Don't show up, not here, not now, not here, not now, I thought. As William and I sat quietly with the agreement I had vocalized, I focused as hard as I could, secretly repeating my own mantra, my command, my spell, my message to the trapped time traveler I might become, the trapped body I might be. Thank you.
"1,009 long days, under siege, assault, and salt in the wounds. How are you managing your mild to severe pre-exhausted conditions? I want to ask us tonight, are we good and mad enough? We the people, we've been had. We are the collateral, and the damage is no longer caught in our throats. In fact, it's got to be unloaded, this low, low, low. How low can it go? Go speak your minds, because there's no rewinds in the digital age. Excuse me, I bought this cute drink now. I have to put it in my will. Drink it every day. Refill it. No rewinds in the digital age. What's real is we're a good and real that's gone mad. A mad that's been added and added to. So now we got attitude. I'm all caps mad. I'm mad as a mad woman in the attic, mad. I'm mad as the mad woman in the alley, mad. No home, roam. I'm mad as Lady Liberty's tired, poor arm weeping. I'm mad as a hoop skirt corseted suffragette. I'm mad as a mutilated maid. I'm mad as the naked dames maimed and painted into frames. I'm me mad and her mad and they mad and you too, me too, you too. I'm mad as the mans who are not afraid of strong women. Here, here, they're here. Time's up. We're nickel and dime. We're all out of time. Glass ceilings reeling from the raw deal. Not just the racist rapist and the low-lying judge, liar, liar, pants on fire, but the drudgery. I'm mad as single mom. Rights denied right out of her own body. I'm mad at the women who checked that box. Fear of getting used 'cause you're used to it. Oh, and Lady La-di-da, afraid of the immigrant who makes her LOL SUV triple macchiato Chardonnay life possible. Of all the gall. I'm so mad I'm bad and badass. From a historical, hysterical, hormonal, political, personal, visceral, mud pit perspective, and I'm gonna wrestle in it. Feeling so big and bare everywhere. Women must fight just to be. I'm mad as the mother's grief dipped in the thick, sick, numb lead of more dead and nothing, nothing, nothing done to curb dumb guns. What are you most mad about, for instance?
Rape culture. Corruption.
All the lying while lining the pockets. Stolen lands, stolen children, stolen elections, stolen. All bottled up. We're going for broke. We got woke. Wait, were we asleep before? We got woke. No genie, no back and no bottle. No, no, no. We're stoking the accumulated wisdom of womankind for inspiration, please. Inspiri, breathe. No more anger wearing like armor cracking her back. It's R-E-S-P-E-C-T. And not nevertheless. Our brains are stained from trying to maintain. We're singing love songs, a love of truth, and love is love loves. A flowering of empowering. Because we're mad as the badasses we admire. Hang on, RBG. Hang on, girl. Who's your heroine? All right. Yeah? Who? Oh, yeah. Right on. Martha Graham, Patti Smith, Sojourner Truth. My Aunt Ellen going on 105. One hug, recharge you for a year. Woo! Mother of Earth. Not just the births, but all of life. Oh, your great-grandmother and the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Banned assault rifle. On and on and on and on we must go. Give, yes, but not give in to this. We're not afraid, just frayed at the edges. The women who mend, the women who end the wasteful ache of the arc of failed patriarchy. Let it fall of its own dead weight. These boots are made for walking. They actually aren't. But these are my truth-in boots. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Boots are for sale. All the proceeds go to Planned Parenthood. Woo!
Ever since I was a little boy, dressing up has always been my greatest joy. But when it's time to be discreet, there's one thing you just can't beat, and that's a strapless, backless, classical little black dress.
Well, first you go rip, rip, rip. Then you go snip, snip, snip. Then you whip it a zip, zip, zip. And split it up to the hip, hip, hip. And as you strip, 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 shiver and quiver for that soft caress as you slip, slip, slip into that little black dress.
Ever since I was the eine kleine Herren, it was the cordon bleu for which I am most caring. And the one taste treat so sweet that really came to be is what we have. Yeah, how you are, caviar, that little black mess.
Well, first you go rip, rip, rip. Then you go snip, snip, snip. Then you're whipping a zip, zip, zip. Split up to the hip, hip, hip. And as you strip, 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 oh, you quiver, shiver for that soft caress as you slip, slip, slip into that little black dress. That minimal, little black dress.
Let's face it, Mac, that basic black is coming back.
Let's face it, Mac, that basic black is coming back.
Let's face it, Mac, that basic black is coming back.